welcome to the very first episode of Beyond Borders by Humble Hunters. I am your host, Andreana, Digital Marketing Manager at Humble Hunters. Beyond Border podcast reflects our mission into connecting workers into top European companies, helping them cross borders as they begin their career journey. With this episode, we will be talking about some of the frequent questions applicants usually have when thinking about applying for jobs in Europe. And who better guide us than the person behind the mission? Today, we are joined by an exceptional leader who plays a key role in connecting workers with global businesses. CEO and co-founder, Mr. Dejan Tornjanski. Mr. Dejan, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Andreana. Thank you for such a great intro. Pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to hear the feedback from our audience about what we are going to talk today.
Let's kick this off, Sir Dejan. I'm really excited. Could you share a bit more how does Humber Hunters supports applicant throughout the entire process?
Yes, I mean, besides securing jobs for everybody who wants to come to Europe or work to Europe, we support them through the entire process from explaining them what to expect, how to prepare the best for the interview, what documents they should secure ahead of the interview or ahead of applying for the any of the jobs, so they don't lose the chance or lose the time in the process. We also, offer them best options for them. If certain jobs are maybe a little bit more difficult to, you know, apply or get a chance to get an interview, we advise them to maybe apply for some different jobs that are available. And then, as the process goes, just before the deployment, we provide certain orientation seminars where we advise them how to prepare for the departure and arrival in the new country, what to bring with them, what not to bring with them, how much money they should bring for the first few days or weeks, because you know. Wherever you're coming from, you should be aware that in maybe new country, the salary is not paid on the same day that you were maybe getting paid in your country. So yeah, there are certain things that we like to explain to the candidates or applicants, how to best prepare for their new venture in or journey in their life.
Oh, that's great, Sir Dejan. But with regards to that, with the process, I was wondering who is processing the work permit, and some are concerned why is it taking so long, and sometimes.
Yes, this is one of the biggest, topics all the time because, we as an agency, we have expertise in processing the documents for the work permit and for the visa. And this is something, we take pride where we really have a good relationship with the government institutions. They always give us advice, like what kind of documents are accepted, what kind of documents are not accepted. But the real, processor of the work permit is not the agency, it's the government, and the government, is something that we are not able to influence them. They have lots of applications, and sometimes the process takes longer than we want. We would be the happiest if we can receive the work permit within 10 or 15 days, but those times are over. When we started the agency, the Croatia was not so popular amongst the candidates, and we didn't process this many applications as we are processing today. There's statistics right now that just last year, the government of Croatia issued more than 200,000 work permits. And when we started this business, it was per year about 40 or 50,000. And yes, you can imagine the number of application that they need to process so all the time. And yeah, this kind of extended the process. Now we are seeing, work permit process taking sometimes up to 8 or 9 months. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I said, it's not something we can influence. The government institutions or the government, people who are working on this process are also humans, and they're not robots. They can only process so many work permits per day, and yeah, we cannot blame them. They're doing their best, and we have to be, happy with what we get in those 6 to 9 months process.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying, Sir Dejan. Now I have the idea. And for example, hopefully the work permit is there, the visa is there, and they're already arriving in Croatia. We want to know who is going to pick them up in the airport, because I often get this question with candidates.
Sure, sure. Yes. I mean, I always look at it, I try to put myself in the position of a candidate or worker who is being deployed to a new country. I would ask myself the same question. And then this is something like we also take pride in Humble Hunters. We have our facility team and operations team that always meets and greets the candidates at the airport. We always wait for them. There's no time when we didn't, wait, sometimes even for 2 or 3 hours at the airport, but we stay there until the candidate goes through the immigration and through the customs, and we, meet and greet them at the airport. And after that, our team actually takes them to their accommodation, to their new home. So
Oh.
this is something that you can expect from our side.
Oh, that's great, Sir Dejan. But like in connection to what you are saying, candidates or workers actually asking me and some of the team members, when will they start working? Like is it immediately or is there a process that they need to go through before starting to work?
Yes, just like the work permit process, there is a certain process in place when you arrive at a destination country. I'm sure whoever is, whoever was working abroad, they have experience with this process. When you arrive, we have to register this new foreigner in the country. We have to notify the local government institutions that the new foreign worker has arrived. And then we have to take them to the police station to apply for their TRC. They will get their tax ID number. And depends on the position that you're going to be working in the destination country. Certain medical tests have to be completed. Maybe some health and safety tests or trainings have to be completed. So what we see is that sometimes you don't start with your first day at work for 2 to 3 weeks. In the best case scenario, after maybe a few days upon your arrival, you are lucky to start working. But in certain cases, we see delays like 2 or 3 weeks until all these steps that I just mentioned are completed. Very important for the candidates,
Yes.
not to think that something is, wrong with their application or with their employer. Basically, we are just taking them through the normal process, and yes, sometimes they have to wait 2 to 3 weeks before they start working.
Okay, okay, Sir Dayan. And lastly, this question is highly requested, if I might ask. Workers often ask us, the team, that whether they can change jobs or employers when they arrive in Croatia. They ask this
Yes,
often.
yes, yes. I mean, I will explain it in what's actually available to them, and what's actually appropriate. Because for example, the employment law here, labor law in Croatia, allows workers to change jobs basically immediately. You know, upon your arrival, yes, you're allowed to change your employer, but you have to be aware that changing the employer requires changing of your work permit. So you're not obliged to work for the employer that you got the first work permit, but you have to understand that there is a process, procedure that you have to go through, and sometimes this means that you might be waiting for the new work permit again few months. So my advice is, to be very careful before you take this decision. But once again, to answer your question, yes, candidates or the workers can change the job when they arrive in Croatia. But on the second side is what I think it's professional and appropriate is that the employer who actually gave you the first opportunity, um, who really, was waiting for you, was ready to go through the process, who really guaranteed to the government that he is going to employ you. I think you should give this employer a chance and work for them at least a few months, if not a year, before you think about changing the job. That's just from the professionalism side. Stay professional. Come to your new employer. Stay there at least, if possible, 1 year. If let's let's hope that you will really like your job and you will stay forever there. But from the professional side, I would say that 1 year commitment is something that everybody's looking for. I
Take
hope I
note,
was able to
guys.
answer your
Take
question.
note,
Yeah.
guys. So I know the listeners are starting to feel secure about their application right now, Sir Dan. Thank you for that. But of course, if you could leave our listener one message about taking their career beyond borders, what would it be?
Yes, I mean, we see this a lot. For some reason, especially when you're working with workers from the Philippines, from Nepal, from India, most of those candidates are, I'm not gonna say scared, but shy. And
Yeah.
I think if you are considering moving to Europe, um, don't be shy, don't be scared. Have some courage. You're this is sometimes once in a lifetime opportunity, and overcome that fear that you have, and do your best at the interview. And say to yourself, I can do this. I want this. I want to move to Europe, and I'm not going to allow my emotions to stop me from this opportunity. And yeah, we are humans on the other side. Like in Europe, we are very friendly, we are very welcoming, and we want you to come to Europe. So don't be scared of us. Don't be shy, and yeah, show us what you got. I mean, at the interview, tell us your experience. Tell us where you worked, what kind of skills you have, and this is going to be more than enough to secure a job or secure a job or job offer from the employer. So, yeah,
That's
um,
fantastic. That's
yeah.
fantastic, Sir
Thank,
Dejan. Thank you
thank
for
you.
giving us a confidence boost. I think Mr. Dejan gave us a lot of valuable and helpful insights today. Thank you for that, Sir Dejan. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Andreana. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope this information will be valuable for the audience, and they will have more courage to apply for jobs in Europe, and hopefully we will see them all in Europe very soon.
To all of you guys listening to us today, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to subscribe and follow our social media so you don't miss any episode. Please let us know if there are any topics and questions you want us to answer, right, Sir Dean? Leave their
Yes,
comments
yes.
below. And remember, with the right support, your careers and future can go beyond borders.